Hi, I'm Kathy Sagel, Director of Religious Education at First U. I'm so grateful to introduce you to my respected colleague, C.B. Beal. They are with us for programming this afternoon and this evening. Those times and links are listed in our First U Times and on the church website. It feels good to be together.
This morning, I'm going to retell a story called There's No Such Thing as a Dragon that was written by Jack Kemp. Billy Bixby was rather surprised when they woke up one morning and found a dragon in their room. It was a small dragon, about the size of a kitten. The dragon wagged its tail happily when Billy patted its head. Billy went downstairs to tell their mother. "There's no such thing as a dragon," said Billy's mother, and she said it like she really meant it. Billy went back to their room and began to get dressed. The dragon came close to Billy and wagged its tail, but Billy didn't pat it. If there's no such thing as something, it's silly to pat it on its head. Billy washed their face and hands and went down to breakfast. The dragon went along. It was bigger now, almost the size of a dog. Billy sat down at the table. The dragon sat on the table. Now, this sort of thing was not usually permitted in the Bixby household, but there wasn't much Billy's mother could do about it. She had already said there's no such thing as a dragon, and if there's no such thing as something, you can't tell it to get down off the table. Mother made pancakes for Billy, but the dragon ate them all. Mother made some more, but the dragon ate those too. Mother kept making pancakes until she ran out of batter. Billy only got one of them, but they said that's all they really wanted anyway. Billy went upstairs to brush their teeth. Mother started cleaning the table. The dragon, who was quite as big as Mother by this time, made itself comfortable on the hallway rug and went to sleep. By the time Billy came back downstairs, the dragon had grown so much it filled the hall. Billy had to go around by way of the living room to get to where their mother was. "I didn't know dragons grew so fast," said Billy. "There's no such thing as a dragon," said Mother. Mother spent all morning going back and forth between the computer on her desk and the kitchen while Billy played. She told herself that she went the long way around through the den for the exercise, not because there was a dragon in the hallway by the kitchen. After lunch, Mother started going out the kitchen window and then back in the window of the room where her computer was, since the dragon blocked all the doors of the hallway. But she told herself it was for the exercise in the fresh air, since there's no such thing as a dragon. By mid-afternoon, the dragon filled the whole house. Its head hung out the front door and down the steps. Its tail hung out the back door, and there was not a room in the house that didn't have some part of the dragon stuck in it. The dragon snored softly, but when it did, the whole house vibrated. When the dragon woke up from its nap, it was hungry. A bakery truck went by, and the smell of fresh bread was more than the dragon could resist. The dragon leapt up and ran down the street after the bakery truck. The house, of course, went along too, like a shell on a snail. The mail carrier was just coming up the path with some mail for the Bixbys when their house rushed past and headed down the street. He chased the Bixby's house for a few blocks, but he couldn't catch it. People came out of their houses as this house, and the mail carrier went by. They thought maybe it's one of those surprise parades that the teachers do nowadays, or for people's birthdays, but it was just the two of them. When Mr. Bixby came home after his long day at work, the first thing he noticed was that the house was missing. Luckily, one of the neighbors was able to call from the porch to tell him which way it went. Mr. Bixby got on his bike and went looking for the house. He studied all the houses as it went along. The red one, the blue one, the purple one. Every town has one purple house. But finally, he saw one that looked familiar. Mrs. Bixby and Billy waved to him from an upstairs window. Mr. Bixby climbed up over the dragon's head, along its neck, onto the porch roof, and went into the house through an upstairs window. "How did this happen?" said Mr. Bixby, somewhat afraid of the answer. "It was the dragon," said Billy. "There's no such thing." Mother stopped herself. There is a dragon, Billy insisted, a very big dragon. And Billy reached out over the porch roof and patted the dragon on its head. And then, even faster than it had grown, the dragon started getting smaller. Soon it was kitten size again. "Oh, I don't mind dragons this size," said Mother. "But why did it have to grow so big?" "I'm not sure," said Billy, "but I think it needed to be noticed." Thank you so much for listening to my story today.
Now, please join with me in our chapel closing words. Go well into life now. And when you need us, always know that here you will find the hands of friends. Carry the flame of peace and love and hope until we meet again. Be well.